I see so often indecision absolutely crippling so many people. And I mean in real estate, just in life and observations. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can get into the mode of making crisp, clear, and life-changing decisions. Hey guys, welcome to another Motivational Monday. If this is your first one, I welcome you to the channel. I want to make sure you share this and subscribe so you don't miss any other ones. You know, it was just about the halfway point of 2024, so just a few weeks ago as of the day of this filming, and I was looking through my journal, and I found this old piece from Winston Churchill actually about decisions and decision making. He called it actually the long road of agony, and it caught my attention, so I literally wrote it in my journal. And he talked about how indecision cripples and can cripple people. It's unbelievable. I like that he called it sort of the long road, to use his quote, because if you can't make a decision, it actually does become long, it becomes tedious, it becomes strenuous, it becomes non-productive, grueling process. Just really total waste. And we all can get caught up in this thing. Like, we can listen to others' opinions, we can fall into that confirmation bias, and you can look at some old videos of mine to find out what that means. But if you listen to others speak about confirmation bias, it's us, you and I, looking for confirmation of even us trying to duck out of a decision, right? Or confirmation of a bad move. We're looking for the negative. We're looking for that. That's confirmation bias in its simplest form. But take a peek at past videos for that. And also listening to media crap. So all these things get in the way of our decision making. So my thought was, for the rest of 24 and into 25 and beyond, frankly, I have a real simple thought for you. How about you master the art of making decisions with clarity and confidence? Now, clarity alone, as I say every time I'm at an event or the boot camps we hold right here in our office, and I'll tell you how to get into those, by the way, but clarity alone sparks exponential growth, or it has the ability to. I don't know you yet until we talk, and I'll give you a chance to do that too. I like to chat with you personally. But clarity can and will spark exponential growth when done properly. I promise you that. Now, why is that? Because when you do that, agony tends to leave, to go back to Winston Churchill's thing. Agony is from indecision, right? It just weighs on us mentally and in every other way, and it drags us down. So here are I'm gonna give you like 4 things to bring that clarity and confidence to all your decisions that I tend to use. So in no particular priority order. One is, decide if the decision is sort of major in your world or minor, and that'll allow you to allocate the proper time to it. Now, examples. Will this move the needle for me this week? Or will this move the needle for me and my family this year? Is it health related? That would take priority, right? Is it 5 years out? Is it really life altering right now? Put it in perspective so you can decide if it's major or minor, and you'll know how much time to allow to it. Because too many times we'll get caught up in the minor decisions because they're easy fixes. I can cross it off my list, but it's not gonna move the needle big time, okay? So that's number 1. And you can play with that. Number 2, you sort of gotta look at the cost related to the time in the return. So you could call it return of time or return of cost, right? Versus return on investment, although you can do that as well. And it requires you to kind of remove the emotion for this piece. So often I'll say to people, look, I want to know your emotion. I want to know why this decision is going to help you. I want you to dig deeper on your why. But from just a pure return standpoint, numerically, I actually pull the emotion away. So example, I know if I invest X in a training program, statistically, because I learned from either others that did it or from community, like in the Wicked Smart community, you could learn from others and you could also get some stats from me. Like 83% of our associates are sort of at what we call active. Well, that's a good stat. And if they're active, then they're involved in the coaching. If they're involved in the coaching, their odds go way up for having success. Back to the quote. I know if I invest X in a training program and the return is, you come up with a number. Again, it could be 100% return, it could be 300%. You can ask others in the community. I've seen all of that. Okay, that would be a good decision, a good return on the time frame, a good return on the cost, etc. No brainer, right? You could also look at the cost now versus delaying. Some things are going to have a cost increase. For example, our programs have gone up, 3, 4, 5 times, some of them, over time, from the cost of money, from the proof of success in the community, the certainty in that. So it's gone up. So sometimes delaying could cost you more, even though you know it's the right decision right now. Cost of a seminar. Okay, too many times people go, I don't know if I can afford X. Well, okay, why are we talking about if you can afford it? How about we talk about what the return is and how definite it is, how definitive it is. And if we know it's definitive, wouldn't we get resourceful over here and find a way to get there? Just a thought. If you came up on stage with me, I've done this many times at events, and I said, hey, I got a $100 bill here. It's yours if you can simply go out and produce $100. You show me that you can produce $100, I'm gonna hand you $100 for your efforts. Now, why would you go out and do that, or ask someone next to you for a $100 bill, or go out in the lobby, or call a friend if you didn't have a $100 bill on you? Because I just said with certainty, here's $100, which is 100% return from you going and borrowing that. You can give it back to them and you have $100. That was just certainty. That's all that was. I could tell that story so many different ways. So I now look in hindsight back to the members of our community, or better yet, to the members who decided not to be in the community yet, and I go, what gives? We have a 3 payday system that provides anywhere on average from a $45,000 low to a $350,000 high, all 3 paydays per deal. So it doesn't take 20 deals to change your life. It takes a couple, right? To me, that's certain. And it just needs to translate to you to be certain. So you can go, I'm going to get after it. I'm going to get resourceful. And I have links for you to do that. In fact, if you want to set up a call with me, I'll give you links to go ahead and, procure business funding that doesn't involve your social security number and all kinds of cool things like that. Just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/Chris pre-call. Chris pre-call. I'll do a 15-minute call with you. I'll find out what's in your way, what could be helping you. If we never talk again, I'll at least give you some direction. I might even give you a contact or two for my dream team. Okay, back to the 4 things. No priority. 3 would be, I want to put you in a position to say always, I'm super glad I did that versus I should have. And it's a conscious thing I make sure that I do, because I don't want to be in this indecision mode myself and then go, I should have did that. I knew it. I should have done that when the market was this, or I should have done that when so-and-so told me about it. And you could finish the sentence if you want, and you could put in any age, but when I'm 80 years old, you feeling whatever it is it gonna be a glad I did it, or is it gonna be a regret? Should have, super glad I did it. Which one? If you speak with some of the associates in our community, you'll hear that many of them are saying, I'm glad I did that. I came into the community with no real estate experience. I had a JOB. I was able to leave my JOB in X amount of months or X amount of years. I'm super glad I did that. And that's a decision that they made. It's all it was. So they get off the road to agony and they made a decision. And 4th, and last thing I'll leave with you, fill in the blank here. What would so-and-so do? Is it a mentor? It could be an imaginary mentor. It could be an author you read and you know them well and you're like, if that was them, they would have done this. Work on that and let them sit on your shoulder. Or if you have a mentor, or if you don't, you want to do a free call with me, again, smartrealestatecoach.com/Chris pre-call. I'd love to have a call with you and tear apart some things that you think might be holding you back from a decision that could literally change your life. And again, if we never talked again after that, I'll at least point you in the right direction. So for 2024 and beyond, it doesn't matter what year you're hearing this, it really is applicable. I hope you've shed some old layers as we talk about these decision things. I want you to be able to shed some old habits. I know I had to after the 2008 crash. It took 4 years, and I hope it doesn't take you that long to get out of my own way and get my head out of the sand. But I hope we can all shed some layers. And I liken that to an onion, if you will. These are layers that have been holding us back, whether you know it or not, possibly for years. Layers of the onion. And it's interesting, as we get older, sadly, and challenging, the layers of the onion, so to speak, build up, right? I was actually, I keep saying one more thought, but I have another thought. I was actually on the phone with Joe Vitale recently. He's the gentleman who started The Secret, Dr. Joe Vitale. And we were talking about the fact that we all have the ability to make decisions, right? Like literally every day, we can make decisions that will affect us in one way or another. And we got into this chat and he said, hey Chris, if you're not happy, you can just change it. And then he said, you know what? My mentor, it's almost like he had an aha and the light bulb went off. He leaned in and he said, my mentor once reminded me that the bus leaves every day. Think about this, guys. Write this down if you're taking notes. The bus leaves every day. And he likened it to his own town when he was growing up, and the bus would leave every day. And if you don't like where you're going, if you don't like your circumstances, you don't like your results, you get on a different bus. Think about that. It's such an easy analogy. So what are you waiting for? We're back to this decision thing again, right? You can choose a different bus. Now, some of you are on the Wicked Smart community bus now. Congrats. But recently I put a rant out to the community. We do these, I put like videos out and we call them the Monday Rant, and we put them on Slack and they all get to go through that on their community channel. Because I said, you guys are all on the bus, it's fine, but are you on the full-time bus or the part-time bus? And if you're on the part-time bus, do you want to be on the full-time bus, and what's the plan? And for those of you who are not in our Wicked Smart community, it's okay. But I urge you to decide which bus and decide ASAP, because time's ticking. I was interviewing a guy recently on my show, and he said almost verbatim what I've been screaming about for, 18 months or so. And that is, I asked him about the market, and he goes, oh man, Chris, People don't realize it maybe, but this is the best time to accumulate property. And if you can do it the way you guys do it without putting gobs of cash, without signing personally, the leverage is infinite in some cases. So why not determine, for example, what it's going to take you to escape your W-2, or what it's going to take you to escape your present circumstances, and maybe what it's going to take to have you ride the full-time bus if that's what you're trying to do. We can help you bridge the gaps between part-time and full-time. That's simple. Frankly, if you're wholesaling or rehabbing now, let's decide how to add this so we can get you off that proverbial old way of doing real estate, proverbial treadmill, but the old way of doing real estate, which is you do a deal, you get paid. You do a deal, you get paid. I did that prior to the crash. And let me tell you, the 3 payday system is much better because you get the now money. Okay, you were getting that anyway. Now you set in motion a stream of income monthly, and you also put some long-term income out there. That's pretty cool. So I'd love to chat with you about that. You don't need to chat with me if you don't want to. You can go to the website and apply to be an associate and explore that with someone on the strategy team. But I'd like to explore it with you if you're game. smartrealestatecoach.com/Chris pre-call. We do have, before I jump off of this Motivational Monday, we do have a super cool apprentice program now that we've never done. It's about, gosh, you can go to the website 3paydaysapprentice.com, 3paydaysapprentice.com. You can see the value there, but I think it's like over 16 grand worth of coaching, which we've never done, for like $1,000. And if you already own QLS, it's half of that. Guys, it's a no-brainer. Now, why do we do that for the summer promo, maybe into the fall, depending on when you're hearing this? Well, we did it because we know when you get a chance to look behind the curtain at what we really do, not just what you see in the website and publicly, you're gonna have a big aha. And the only way to do that is to let you be an apprentice and really peek behind the curtain. So let's chat together. Let's find the best way, the best path for you. Speak with someone who has done it, right? That is not always the best way. So you can speak with me, and I can actually put you in touch with some other coaches and some other dream team members, and you can figure out what the best path is for you. Guys, that was a mouthful for this week's Motivational Monday. I hope you enjoyed it. Gosh, share it with someone that might be struggling with indecision, or share it with someone that you think could benefit in some shape, form, or fashion from the Wicked Smart community. And by all means, make sure you subscribe to the channel here so you pick up the Motivation Monday, the Q&A Thursday, and the Deal Structure Sundays. I think we got like over 400, maybe approaching 500, where you can look at all our deals over time in our students' deals. That's pretty cool. I'll see you next week on the next Motivation Monday, and hope to see you at the next event.